You're listening to the Booze and Bloodshed podcast.
Booze and Bloodshed podcast in Booze and Bloodshed Studios, Dallas, Texas.
I'm Leah.
And I'm Brandon.
And we're so happy that y'all have chosen to join us this morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be listening from. As always, we are here to dish and discuss all things boozy and bloody. True crime and or horror movies will be our focus every week, along with an alcoholic beverage that we think will pair well with the subject of each episode. Today, we are going to be talking about a personal favorite, Jaws, paired with...
Personal favorite, let's specify. Personal favorite means...
For me.
Favorite of Leah's.
For me, yes.
And have we done this when today we're doing a Big Bad Baptist 2021 Double Barrel. So this is supposed to have coffee and stuff in it. Did we ever do the last...
No, because remember, we got snowed in and iced in, and then you drank like all three of the ones you had.
Enough. I'm never going to live that down.
So no, we didn't. And then you bought the soundboard that same night.
But then didn't you buy like... Big Bad Baptist rye. You got a rye one time too, didn't you? You bought like 3 different bottles that I did not drink, by the way.
Well,
I didn't drink those.
We didn't do it for this.
Oh, okay. Well, you had a rye, and that's gone. So this is the last. These are the last ones of the batch. So, yeah, Big Bad Baptist double barrel. I'm gonna turn the music down now at the stretch. There we go. Okay, so. Double barrel, Big Bad Baptist. Okay, I gotta put stop over here real quick. I gotta get this thing organized where I can reach stuff easier.
Big Bad Baptist reminds me of what we used to call Braden.
What we used to call what?
Braden when he was little.
You called him Big Bad Baptist?
We called him Big Bad Braden. We called him Triple B.
Oh, well, this is Triple B, but it's Baptist. So it's saying that this is in collaboration with Blue Copper Coffee. We've aged green Colombian coffee beans in whiskey barrels and selected choice Baptist casks for a double barrel of bourbon barrel character. Pull the trigger on this extremely limited release. And then Beer Advocate says this is pours black with a dark creamy head, smells of coffee, bourbon, chocolate, and malt, tastes sweet or slightly sweet coffee with definite overtones of bourbon. So bourbon barrel aged 12.2%. I have a feeling this thing's going to make me, I'm not saying us, but like super bloated. So I'm really looking forward to this one.
Us.
And this is made by Epic Brewing Company in Utah. I thought it was in Salt Lake City, but maybe not. It just says Utah. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and open it. Let's see if we can get some smoke and a little hiss. Let's see. Ooh, that sounds nice.
I actually...
Did that sound nice?
It did sound nice.
Okay.
I'm partial to... Did they make Son of a Baptist? Or is that somebody else?
Anything with a Baptist thing in it's going to be epic.
Epic. Oh, I love Son of a Baptist. That one's good.
My mic stand's trying to fall over.
I actually ordered quite a few of those from Beer Geeks during the shutdown. I went and picked them up and I would drink them.
Beer Geeks got a really good selection of beer.
They do.
For being so small, they have some good stuff over there.
Yeah, they do.
All right, so we're going to pour this in here. You want a half a pour?
Yeah.
Or a whole pour?
No,
half pour.
I don't need a whole one.
There you go. Oh, God.
You're going to Sally pour it.
That's like...
I want half of it and then you're going to fill up the entire thing.
No, I'll go half.
Okay, I think that's... Oh, my God.
That's half. That looks boozy
I thought
as hell.
you meant half of the glass.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what I meant. I'm going to get myself
Obviously
a half.
not.
See if that one goes.
Ooh.
It pours like it sounds like it's probably going to taste very thick. Yes.
Yeah, it does.
All right, so definite dark tan head. It's got a little bit of one finger lacing. It's kind of sticking around.
I'm smelling something that can be good or bad.
I'm smelling just like straight up booze.
I was going to say soy sauce.
Damn it. Don't that ruined it for me. But I do smell, I smell chocolate, roasted malts, bourbon barrel. I don't smell coffee. Obviously, there's coffee right there.
I smell coffee.
And fucking smell soy sauce.
Liquid aminos.
Yeah.
Just think of it as liquid aminos. Maybe it won't be so bad.
So we give it a sniff. Let's give it a drink and a taste.
Oh, fuck, that's a good one.
Ooh, oh, I can taste the soy sauce, too.
Oh, that's weird. I don't taste it. I just smell it.
It tastes like a chocolate milk. It's smooth as hell.
It is. I was just about to say that. Like, it's not boozy tasting.
No, I was expecting this. It got some mixed reviews. Some people said, I don't get any bourbon barrel in there. I'm like, I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really smooth and real drinkable for 12%.
I get more of the bourbon and the chocolate thing than I do coffee. I don't really taste coffee. I smell coffee.
Fuck, this is good.
It is good.
We haven't had... Why'd you look at me like that? We haven't had a beer that we've actually enjoyed in quite a while. I mean, we went to Sour Rock, but like, aside from Sour Rock.
No, well, because we don't really drink it too much anymore. But
we haven't had a beer where it's like, man, that's so good. And this is like, it's dead heat of the summer. It's hot as hell.
And typically not
the time to be drinking these Imperial Stouts. This thing tastes like chocolate milk, like a bourbon barrel chocolate milk. It's so good.
So nice.
I'm going to get another one. I'm going to get one more. 12.2%. It does not taste like
No, it doesn't.
It tastes like maybe an 8%, 8.5%. I'm going to get to a little more.
I don't even think it's like that.
I'm going to give it another drink. You almost made me spit my drink out.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Oh my gosh, I'm proud of myself.
You're coming along very well, Padawan.
Padawan?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's a Star Trek thing.
Star Trek
Star
or Star
Wars.
Wars?
Oh my God, it said Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Jeff.
You're a secret Star Trek fan,
no,
don't lie.
No, Jeff's going to get pissed because I said Star Trek instead of Star Wars. This is good, man. This is way better than I expected it to be. I expected it to be over boozy. It's hard to drink. Like, not that I have a problem with, what's that really strong? A barley wine.
Ugh.
But I expect it to be as strong and as hard to drink as the barley wine, and it's not at all. It's really good and easy to drink. No charge for that.
That is so disgusting.
If we were drinking beers and it was cold, I could slam this whole thing, no problem. Easy.
By yourself?
Easy.
Oh, damn.
But since I'm not that badass anymore.
It'd be so good if it was like frosty.
Oh, yeah.
Or like in a really cold, like frosty glass.
Yeah, and some people say, you need to make sure your stouts are coming up to room temperature. Fuck that. I want a cold one.
It just depends on the mood I'm in.
It makes it more syrupy, but I want a cold ass beer.
I feel like it's more syrupy when it gets room temp.
And some beer snobs are like, well, you shouldn't have a beer in a frosty glass. Bullshit.
Fuck that shit.
I'll put my beer in what I want to drink it in.
The only people that ever say that have not had a fucking Tecate with lime and salt.
They ain't had a Tecate. A frosty Tecate with lime and salt when you're sweating your ass off.
That is a life changer.
And just slam the crap out of that beer.
No, I think sometimes the rednecks know what they're talking about.
Maybe they're onto something. I don't think Tecate's redneck, though. I think that's more like Hispanic.
Well, I mean, like the frosted glass thing.
Oh, is that?
Oh, my God, yeah. A lot of people I know that are rednecks, that's what they like.
Of course.
They go to places like Chili's where you can get it.
Hell yeah. Matter of fact, I think Twin Peaks does theirs. They do craft beer, or they have craft beer, and they serve it in like frozen glasses.
See, I don't really.
I've been to Twin Peaks once.
I think people say that because like breweries and stuff can get away with a lot if you have it really cold. Like it hides a lot of stuff, I've noticed.
It does.
And the more it warms up like to room temp, then the more the flavors and aromas and stuff come out. And I think if it's like a shit beer, like some places we know, they like to serve it like super, super cold because they can hide a lot of the shit that's not good.
And as it comes to room temperature, a lot of those things come out. You can smell it and taste it. I agree. But I still like a really cold lager beer sometimes, just fucking freezing cold.
Yeah.
I almost chose to do Michelob Ultra tonight.
But what do you say about that?
Because I didn't want to be bloated and shit. Like,
I know. Well, I don't either.
Like we drink primarily tequila now, which is awesome.
I don't know. Like I feel like anytime I drink alcohol anymore, I kind of feel that way.
I don't get as bad, but when I drink beer, I get fucking bloated. I get headaches and shit. It's like sometimes it's not worth it. But we took one for the team tonight, and I'm glad we did because this is really good.
This is good.
This has been sitting in the freaking refrigerator for
a
year?
Probably a year, more than a year.
Obviously, it's 2021 and this is 2022.
You have like nothing left in there anymore.
I know. I'm trying not to drink it real fast.
In comparison to what you did have in there, you had like a fucking beer store in that refrigerator.
Yeah, I cleaned a lot out. I threw a lot away. I threw 50% of the beers I had in my refrigerator away.
You should have gave it to a neighbor or something.
Who?
I don't know.
You know when I mowed the people's yard next door, they brought me a Spaten. They brought me a Spaten beer, and I was like, "Damn, I didn't know y'all like that."
Yeah,
the ladies next door.
Are you serious?
Yeah, when I mowed their yard, she brought me a Spaten. She said, "Here, you want a beer?" I was like, "No." And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, God damn.
You should have been like, "Where the fuck did you get that?"
Yeah, I didn't know.
I know you didn't pick it out.
I didn't know y'all was like that. They are.
That's weird.
Yeah, I had no idea. She brought me a German beer, and I was like, "Fucking A, these ladies know what's going on."
Did you drink it?
Hey, why do I have? No, I said no, thank you though. I appreciate it.
Why do you have what?
My notes say Leah, right there.
Yeah, so does mine because I was supposed to read that part and I didn't change it, and that's why I changed Jaws at the bottom right there.
You did. Oh, this is from last time. You didn't take it off.
No,
Gotcha.
I didn't.
Gotcha. So, Big Bad Baptist Double Barrel, 12.2% from Epic Brewing Company in Utah. I give it, man.
I think it's a win.
It's a 9 out of 10. It's good.
Yeah, I'd say 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, just the only reason it doesn't get a 10 is because,
of that soy sauce. Liquid aminos smell.
It's got a little soy sauce thing going on. And this has kind of come up to temperature now, and it's still the same as it was when it was colder.
Yeah, really smooth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's very nice.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, and fortunately, this morning's, whatever you're listening, I said it, maybe fortunately.
Why would it be unfortunately?
Because this is like the oldest movie ever.
Ever? No, it's not.
And I've seen it like a lot.
You've not seen it
specifically with you.
Okay, whatever.
And here's the funny thing. You watch this movie and halfway through you're asleep, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm watching the rest of it.
Okay, because I got up at literally 5 a.m. yesterday, and then after worked all day, and then went and rode 11 miles, and then I was fucking tired.
You were struggling so bad. And then we got back, I look over, you're sleeping, and you wake up, you look at me and go, I'm tired. I was like, yeah, I'm tired too, but you're making me watch this movie.
You know what's so stupid is when I'm falling asleep and stuff, I feel like you don't notice. And you totally know.
I always know. I look over at you, your eyes are closed, and then you just wake up and just kind of go, I'm tired. As if you have to have an excuse to sleep.
I don't remember saying
Every time you fall asleep, you always have to have an excuse. I'm tired. I don't feel good. It's always an excuse. It's like, dude, it's okay to be asleep.
I don't remember saying that.
Oh, you don't remember saying that last night? That was hilarious. I'm tired. I said, are you cold? Yes. You want an extra blanket? No. Then what do you?
I remember that.
Well, if I get an extra blanket, I'll get warmer and I'll fall asleep. You're already falling asleep.
Damn, you okay?
Damn, you okay? You're already falling asleep. It's like, why does it matter now?
I don't remember that. Anyway, we are going to be talking about Jaws today. We fucked up last time because my whole goal for Jaws was to do it like around the 4th of July, and I forgot, and we didn't.
We watched several different documentaries about several different people, and we decided to go with that Arthur Shawcross guy, and then we completely forgot Jaws because you said you wanted to do the last podcast before the last one, and we still didn't do it.
Yeah, I completely forgot about it. But
we're doing it today, baby.
There's never a bad time for Jaws. You can watch Jaws whenever. This is a Christmas movie.
This is not This is a Christmas movie for real?
No. It's any time of the year movie.
Why'd you say that though, for real? Like, do y'all watch it in Christmas a lot?
No. I was just kidding.
Okay.
I meant like it's like you can watch this anytime. It's never a bad time.
Right, but you weren't joking when you said a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I was.
Kind of weren't.
No, I don't. We don't watch it at Christmas.
You watch it all the time.
I don't watch it all the time. This is a 4th of July movie for my family, though. Well, and kind of an anytime movie. It's one of those movies that anytime you see it on TV, you're gonna fucking watch it in my house. Always.
Oh, you know what's weird? After we watched it last night, after you fell asleep, and I was like, I've seen the rest of it. I stopped it, and went back to like the live TV, and what was on AMC? Fucking Jaws.
On a different channel?
Yes. I can't win. I can't get away from this.
Because we were watching it on Hulu, but it was like a pre-recorded thing on Sci-Fi. That's funny.
It was kind of nice because there was no commercials.
On AMC?
Whatever we watched, Sci-Fi.
Oh, yeah.
We watched it on Sci-Fi, and there was no
Hulu.
commercials, so it was kind of nice.
I think that's because it was like pre-recorded.
Well, either way, it was nice not to have those commercials.
Yes. So I think
Which is weird. You have Hulu, you pay for it, and then you have to have commercials with the shit you pay for.
I heard that you can pay
Additional.
Yeah,
fuck that.
without commercials, but it's like Netflix. Like, you're already paying for it. Why does it have commercials? Know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
But I did hear that Netflix is gonna start having commercials. Fuck that shit.
I thought they already did. In between,
Not Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Netflix and HBO don't do that.
I get them mixed up.
But anyway, so Jaws.
Well, I was also wondering if, like, when you watch. Okay.
You're such a butt. So this was made in it came out in 1975. I think everybody knows, but Steven Spielberg directed this. I think this was one of his first movies, if not the first movie. You know how old he was when he made this? I feel so unaccomplished in life.
How old?
27. Can you believe that?
You're not 27.
In like a few days.
So why would you feel unaccomplished?
Because he was already in the midst of like becoming a huge director at 27 years old. That is so young.
He had connections with somebody.
That's so young though.
He knew somebody.
But
1975.
what were you doing in 1975?
Being born. What were you doing in 1975?
Not a fucking thing. I wasn't around for 20 more years.
Yeah, I was born in 75.
But this on IMDb the rating was 8.1 out of 10. Strongly disagree. And
me too.
Really?
Yes.
Right. Oh, you're going to say it's worse.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You are
You know what thing about this movie?
You are the only person on earth that thinks it's worse.
That is not true.
That is true.
Nope. This was a movie. It was good back then. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because I want to hear your explanation.
It was good back then, and then when you watched it back then, everything was fucking believable about it. Everything. And then when you watch it now, it's like
the point of it now is it's not to be believable.
No. It's the fact that it's so unbelievable that it was hard to believe that it was even believable in the first place.
So
go ahead.
I have a lot to say about this. So, but what you're saying now about it being believable back then is my mom, and I thought she was the only one that thought this, and I was like, wow, that's really fucking stupid. But I've heard other people say this, so it wasn't just her, that they were scared of water after this came out.
Yeah.
My mom said she was afraid to get in the shower. I've heard people say shit like that.
I remember it was a big deal, and I remember it caused a lot of fear and chaos. And so that's what I'm saying. Like back then, it was real. Like the movie, my mom even told me like a long time ago, the movie The Blob and stuff like that was it was so believable and realistic. And you look at it now, you're like, what the fuck?
Well, I think The Blob is a lot different than a shark.
But but it still made you like it was so real back then. Even when you watch this, like
the special effects were believable.
Back then, it was like, holy shit! There's a big ass shark in the ocean that can kill us, which could, but when you watch it now, you're like, oh my god, that's so bad. The shark is literally shaking because the gears stopped working.
There's parts of the movie that I feel like the shark looked more. Even I'm not talking about the shots that were actual sharks, but like there's parts of it that I feel like look more realistic than like the worst it ever looks is at the very end when it gets up on the boat to eat Quint, and it's like. You can see the fucking like
even when they
screw in the mouth.
Well, when they caught that shark and they had it on display for everybody.
That's a real shark.
The eyes are painted on. Look at it again.
Really?
I saw it last night. I'm like, it's so badly drawn on.
I thought it was just like a real dead shark.
No, it was a prop.
Oh.
And then when it had a close up, I'm like, you can see the paint. It doesn't even look like a real eyeball.
Watch you say that and then find out it's actually real.
It's not.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I wish I could pull up a picture so you could see it and see how bad it was. And I was noticing a lot of bad stuff this time.
I've always looked at that part specifically, and I always thought it was real. Like, it looks real.
It looks nothing like it's real. See, that's what it was back in 1975.
Shut up.
But it looks so fake. It looks so fake. It's so bad.
Back.
It looks so bad. It's so bad. Fuck off. All right.
But Rotten Tomatoes, the audience score was 4.4 out of 5, which is 90%. And then the critic score on Rotten Tomatoes was 9.3 out of 10.
I think there's a lot of bias on this.
No.
Because it's Steven Spielberg.
I don't really like Steven Spielberg. I really like this movie, but I'm not really a huge fan of him. I don't like Gremlins. Isn't that Steven Spielberg?
That was a good movie, though.
Oh, that's a good movie, but Jaws isn't.
That's a Christmas movie, too.
Oh, my God.
And Jaws isn't.
E.T.
Badass movie, by the way.
E.T. is sad as fuck.
It's a badass movie.
I don't like that.
I cried in E.T.
And then...
Everybody cried in E.T.
What else?
You cried watching E.T.
Yeah, fuck that.
It was funny.
It's sad.
It was funny.
But I think a lot of what... I'll just save this for the end, I guess. But the budget for this was $12 million, and back then would be equivalent to what today is $40 million. That's really not that much money for a movie.
Nope.
And I read that he was like freaking the fuck out because he was worried about this movie tanking, and like he would never get to work in movies again if it tanked, because he had gotten the studios to give him so much money for this. But the studios had also done Cleopatra. When was that? That was like what, in the 60s?
Well, I mean,
Elizabeth
the original
Taylor?
one?
The Elizabeth Taylor one.
I thought that was like in 1920 something. Or
It was not in the 20s. Elizabeth Taylor is not that old. I don't know. It's probably in the 50s or 60s.
Elizabeth Taylor's not alive anymore.
No, she's not alive anymore.
That's what I said.
But she didn't die that long ago. She wasn't in Cleopatra in the 20s.
30s.
No, she wasn't. I think it was like the 60s. But, or 50s or 60s. But anyway, he was freaking out because the studios had just spent like $47 million or something on Cleopatra. And he was trying to top that. But he ended up having like a lot of anxiety because he was like, oh shit.
Oh shit.
I hope this doesn't do bad because I just got a lot of money. Well, anyway.
So he made a lot of money.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
long term,
yeah.
especially.
So in the box office, they spent $12 million. Box office, they made $471,411,300.
That's up to today-ish. Or is that back then?
I think that was back then.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see.
Oh, shit.
I didn't see in today's equivalent for that. But this movie was adapted from the novel by Peter Benchley. I need to read that. I want to read that so bad. But Peter Benchley co-wrote the screenplay for this with a guy named Carl Gottlieb, and he was also in the movie.
Which one was he?
He was the reporter on the beach.
Okay. I did not know
during
that.
4th of July. Well, anyway, so the plot summary of this movie, I think everybody at this point knows this.
Yeah.
Do you think there's anybody that hasn't seen this, like, as an adult?
I
I'd be
don't
very
know.
surprised if
I know
hasn't
back
seen
then
this.
everybody saw it.
I'd be surprised if somebody hasn't seen
Everybody saw this movie. This was like a big deal. Next to Star Wars, this was like a huge movie.
This is still a big deal movie. I mean, it's so ingrained in our culture, don't you think?
Yeah.
Like, so many shows do something about Jaws. I remember when I was a kid. This makes me sound like such a kid. But Jimmy Neutron. Do you remember Jimmy Neutron, the cartoon? Okay, so that was on when I was a kid. Like 2000, 2005.
You're talking Jimmy Neutron. I'm talking Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry was on when I was a kid.
My mom was a much older version.
But they did on Jimmy Neutron and on SpongeBob, the older SpongeBobs. They each did an episode based on Jaws. Like, the entire episode was based on Jaws. Like, in SpongeBob, it was like a clam or something, a huge clam. And then in Jimmy Neutron
was a big neutron.
I think it was a turtle, like a snapping turtle. But they each had a Jaws boat and a Quint crazy guy, and then, you know,
a little nod to Jaws.
Yes. So it's a really big thing, and I think why it's such a big deal is because I mean, again, it's like, I think it's such an ingrained thing in our culture because it really made, on top of like I was going to actually mention that, the Blob and the Fly and things like that, which are like technically creature features, even though this isn't a horror movie. I think Jaws really made the creature feature thing a really big deal. Are you just going to hold that?
Yeah.
Because then things like, all the shark movies, I mean, The Meg and all this shit, I feel like the only reason those are even a thing is because of Jaws. Otherwise, they wouldn't be movies, probably.
Agreed. Agree on that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then there is this movie. I could go on and on about this. I fucking love Jaws.
You are.
There is this movie, and it's an Australian movie. I can't remember what.
Have we seen this?
I have seen it. You have not seen it. I've tried to find it on streaming platforms, and I can't find it. I think it's called Crikey. But I can't remember if that's what it is. But anyway, it's essentially the same thing. Is these people go out in the water, but they're like in a fucking swamp in Australia. Fuck that. And it tips over the boat, and then they get stuck in a tree, and they're stuck out there, and this thing's eating them. So that kind of thing.
But that was like more of an alligator than a shark, right?
Crocodile.
Yeah.
But even stuff like that, I feel like that wouldn't be as prevalent if it weren't for Jaws. Like creature feature, monsters eating you
creature
shit.
Feature.
That's what they are.
Yeah.
Creature horror.
Well, the whole thing...
Even though this isn't a horror movie, this is more like a thriller.
And the whole thing, this is almost like one of those movies where you could spend hours talking about it, but then you could also do it in 30 minutes because there's not a huge character. There's not a bunch of characters. And the plot line's pretty simple, but it's still also, it's just like... it's
captivating.
Is that what it is? Is that the word I'm looking for?
I think it's like it draws your attention and you can watch the entire thing.
Yeah. But
even though it's like very basic.
It was very basic, but yet still very good. I don't know.
It is a good movie.
It's good for what it was.
I see what you're saying. Like, you could talk about it in 30 minutes if you're just talking about the movie, but if you're talking about, like, kind of what I was, like, the influence it had over a bunch of different things, like, you could sit here and talk for a long time about it.
Yeah.
Well, I could. I guess Brandon can't.
I can't. I mean, I watched it. I remember when it came out. I remember when it was in theaters. I saw it in theaters when I was little. No, I didn't. Yeah, I did. No,
it came out in 75.
I know, but I want to say... Oh, no, I'm thinking of something. I'm thinking Star Wars. Sorry. I'm thinking Star Wars.
Oh, my God. That's true. You were alive when Star Wars came out.
Yeah, when Star Wars came out, I saw it in the theaters. That shit was real.
I was alive when the Hayden Christensen Star Wars came out.
I don't even know what that is. What's the difference?
I don't really know. It was like the evolution of Darth Vader and shit. Like the newer ones that had Natalie Portman.
There's so many of them to keep track of. It's like, and they jump from back and forth and back and forth. Jeff knows about all that shit. I don't.
That's just, to me, that's like Marvel movies. It's like there's too much shit out of order to keep up with it. Like, how do you even know what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think everybody pretty much knows what Jaws is. If you don't, the plot of it is a killer shark unleashes chaos on a beach community off of Long Island. I didn't know this was off of Long Island. Or
Did you think it was Martha's Vineyard or something?
But it's Amity. It's not Martha's Vineyard. It's Amity.
Oh, pardon me.
It's filmed in Martha's Vineyard.
Oh.
And it's up to a local sheriff, a marine biologist, and an old seafarer to hunt the beast down.
The beast. Hunts the beast down.
So to start out, I don't really know. I feel like this whole thing happened so fast, but the beginning.
So it starts off as a typical 80s movie, 70s movie.
70s movie. With potheads.
Such a stereotypical potheads. People sitting around a campfire with one guitar player, making out, smoking pot, and drinking beer. That's just like so cliche.
And
70s,
what you said
80s.
was a pail smoking, and it was actually a trash can.
Why was a trash can smoking, Leah? Were they burning their own trash while they were there?
I think they were probably putting weed in there and getting high.
I don't know. It was strange, though.
I don't know what it was.
I picked up on a lot of weird stuff this time. So
I've never really thought about that part either.
Yeah, so... And then there's always that one guy that's eyeing the girl. I mean, Karate Kid, right? He's sitting by a campfire with the guys, and he's eyeing Allie.
I don't remember.
So
But
anyway, yeah.
I don't remember this guy's name.
Which one?
Like the guy at the beginning of the movie.
Oh, I don't either.
But the girl's name is Chrissy.
All I know is he grew some magic hair really quick.
He did.
So she takes off. He chases her. She's taking her clothes off.
And we noticed
A lot of floppage. As she was running, she was flopping.
her floppage. Ooh,
Yeah.
that sounds bad. Her boob floppage.
Yeah, her boob floppage. And then he was chasing her. A lot of... They tried to blur some of the stuff that we watched, but you could see other stuff.
I think at that point when you're showing that much, it's like just show it, dude. I mean, you might as well. Everybody knows what it is at this point. Everything's flopping around.
Yeah, it's got a little floppage going on. He's chasing her. She goes out to the water, and
then we noticed all the
he's apparently too stoned to go out there, so he just lays down.
The scenery changes.
Scenery changes. Yeah,
it was unbelievable. I feel like I've noticed before, but like I really didn't think about it until this time.
I noticed that in a lot of 80s movies. North Shore did the same thing. It's like
this is 70s.
It's supposed to be, well, whatever. Same to me.
Oh.
But like it's at nighttime, and they're trying to make it look like it's a nighttime shot. During the daytime, they use all these filters, and you can tell it's daytime when they shot it.
I don't know. There was a couple of parts that. What's
you
funny?
You can see the sun behind the clouds.
What's funny? I'm not talking about that part. What's funny is when they leave the little party, it is fucking pitch black outside, like the middle of the night.
Yeah.
But then they run and they're running and it's like the middle of the night, and then she gets in the water and then it's like dusk.
Yeah, but they're trying to make it look like it's still nighttime.
Yeah. But like dusk is like right before nighttime.
Or they're trying to make it look like it's the moon making everything light at nighttime. It's terrible. But there are a lot of 80s, 70s, and 80s movies that did that to make it look like it was nighttime, and it wasn't.
But that drove me nuts because it was like shot to shot to shot to shot. It was like a different lighting thing, and I was like, does nobody notice this?
So she goes up there and swims, right? And she's doing her things. She gets like thrown back and forth from Jaws. She goes under. He's too stoned, and he's laying on his back.
Yes.
Next day, I guess he goes and calls the police or something. The sheriff gets a call that there's a drowning, there's a missing person, whatever. He goes out there, and suddenly this guy's got like much longer hair.
Dude, like at least 2 or 3 inches.
Horribly longer hair. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was.
So they go out there.
And he didn't even look like the same person in the face.
He didn't. I mean, immediately.
I didn't think it did.
You were laughing about it, and I was going to be like, damn, his hair got longer pretty quick. It was bad.
I was just looking at it like, I don't even think that's the same fucking person.
It was so bad.
Maybe it was. I don't know. But do you think if you were passed out, don't you think if somebody was like screaming bloody murder that you would be able to hear them?
Yeah, but
when there's nobody else on the beach?
He was too stoned.
No, he like didn't even acknowledge it was happening.
I think because he was so stoned.
Oh.
They made it look like they were so much further out, too. Like, maybe that's what it was. She was so far out that he didn't hear her, and he was stoned.
But there was nobody out there. I don't know how you wouldn't hear her scream like that.
Look, I didn't direct the movie.
I'm just saying. Well, anyway, and so, yeah, then you're introduced to Chief Brody, who is Roy Schneider. You know, I found out about him. Actually, my mom's told me this several times, but he was a dancer. That's why he's so skinny.
What other movies was he in?
Oh, fuck, I don't know. I know he was in several, but I don't know what he was in. I've never seen him in anything.
I gotta drink some water, man. That beer's kind of sitting on my stomach kind of bad.
And he goes back to...
Heavy.
They meet up with, I guess, his deputy. Is that who it is?
Oh, yeah, that...
And...
The boss
these people act like they've never seen a body before, even though they're police.
Look where they're at.
I guess that's true.
Did he walk up and he's over on the side of the screen, like smoking a cigarette or like looking all distressed? It was so bad. Bad acting.
Which
on that
part?
One. His assistant, the deputy.
Oh, no, he had a whistle. He was blowing a whistle to get them to run over there, and then he took it out of his mouth, and he was like spitting everywhere.
But there's another, when they came up and they saw the body in the sand, there's somebody on the side over there going, did you see that? Oh, it was so bad.
Are you talking about the guy in the hat and the uniform?
Yeah, that's the deputy, right?
Yes, he wasn't smoking.
I didn't say he was smoking. Well, I thought I wondered. But
he was blowing a whistle. He looked like he was going to puke.
Yes, exactly. But
Yeah.
they were there and he was still blowing the whistle?
I think he had just stopped doing it, and he took the whistle out of his mouth, and then it was like this fucking huge string of
It was pretty gross.
spit.
It was pretty. Some water.
Yes. And, yeah, this is little...
My stomach feels like a rock in it now.
But they go back to the station.
I was asked if you wanted to drink some water. I'll gladly keep it. I'll drink some more of it.
I was going to say something.
She put it behind her like she's going to hold on to it for a while. I want some water.
So they go back to the station, and I'm not really even sure why they have that guy there because they do nothing with him. He's just sitting there, and it looks like he has like a thing of fucking like Alka-Seltzer in his hand.
He did. The only thing he ever did in the movie was drive his vehicle when he was drive the sheriff's vehicle off.
No. I'm talking about the guy that was with her that night.
Oh.
He's just sitting there. It looks like
It does look like Alka-Seltzer.
Dude, you didn't even fucking know her. Like, why are you sitting there like mourning over this girl? You didn't know her.
It's so bad.
It's to me, it would
funny.
just be like, oh man, that sucks. Like, I feel really bad that she died. But this guy looks like he lost his wife.
He was in love with her.
Oh my god.
That's what it was.
That's what it was. Yeah. And then that annoying ass secretary comes in with the worst voice on earth.
And I was like,
It's a chief.
that was his assistant, right?
Yes. It's like, can you maybe not talk like that, please?
I thought when she came in, she was like his boss or something. I'm like, damn, the way she's talking to him and stuff.
No, that's his assistant.
That's his assistant.
Or secretary. And but you know what's funny is in the movies, because there ends up being 4 Jaws movies, and the last, I think, like,
how does he not die?
in the last like 2 or 3,
Oh, those are his offspring.
Jaws, it's Offspring.
Okay, so this could go on forever.
Yes. So the last like 2 or 3 movies, it's a completely different actress who's like super freaking small. I actually think it's I don't know if it is, but she looks a lot like her. Is the woman in Mrs. Doubtfire, the one that comes to his apartment to check on him? Yeah. I think it's her. In the last few Jaws movies.
Is she the one that was? Who was the wife? His sheriff's wife in the first one? Could that look kind of like her too?
Oh no, that's not her. Her name is Lorraine Gary.
Lorraine.
But this assistant's like coming in like bothering. Like, this is the most Rosemary Beachy type of town with the kind of problems they have. She was like, there's kids karateing the fences. It's like, you are bothering literally the chief of police about kids karateing picket fences.
But people in town don't have anything else better to do.
No, apparently not.
That's what they do in those towns.
But they say nothing about a shark up until this point, and then he's writing up, I guess, like the death report or whatever.
Yeah, it said shark attack cause of death.
And so he's wanting to shut down
Want to shut down the beach, right? But the city council doesn't want him to.
No. And that's when the mayor and his, like, posse or goons or something come and, like, try to scare the shit out of him.
The mayor's posse. We're going to meet up on the barge, and we're going to have a little conversation. That was very soprano-y, Evan.
It was. And this motherfucker wears the same damn jacket 80% of the movie.
One jacket.
No, he wears more than one, but he keeps wearing this one. Well, anyway, he comes up and he's like, you know, this is a summer town. You're fucking up the economy here. Stop it. Stop.
Yeah. Don't let a shark attack killing somebody fuck up our economy. We need people to swim.
Yeah.
They need to go to the beach. So fuck you. Don't shut the beaches down.
I think that's one of the most famous lines, like, ever, is, this is a summer town. We need summer dollars. It's like, shut the fuck up, dude. Somebody just got killed.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's very believable.
I mean, it is. It sounds very Rockwall.
It does sound very Rockwall. Yeah.
But he...
Speaking of which, did you see recently in Rockwall that they're trying to open an investigation about the all-black school that was there back a long time ago?
I didn't know there was.
There was an all-black school, and for some reason, all the records of that all-black school were destroyed, and they're trying to find out why and where.
What?
Yep.
Where did you see that?
On Facebook, I'm sure. Yeah. It was...
No, I haven't heard anything about that.
It was back behind where Sonic is.
Which Sonic?
The Sonic.
The one on Ridge?
Yes.
Or 205 in Ridge?
Yes. So back in there somewhere, I forgot what street it was.
Really?
Bernie Street or
Where all
something.
those houses are?
Yeah, it's back there. The building's still there, but it's some building in a garage, whatever. Anyway, they're trying to find out why all records of this school were destroyed completely. So anyway,
that is so strange. I did not know that.
Going back to whole so Rockwall.
So he, I guess, is like, well, fuck it. I guess. I mean, I guess I'll just leave it alone. So
I was like, well, shit. Oh shit.
And so the next day, him and his family go to the beach, and there's a shit ton of people on the beach, and he's watching for something to happen.
Yeah, now he's like hypersensitive to everything.
Yes. Well, fuck, wouldn't you be? But at the same time, for something like that to happen, I mean, really though, what is the likelihood of that happening again?
I mean, apparently a lot in this town.
But I'm saying in general, like
because
in real life, what is the likelihood of that happening like more than once in the same place?
I'm not an expert.
Like that close together.
The answer to that question.
And everybody's trying to like calm him down and everything, and he keeps getting these like false alarm things happening on the beach where he thinks people are getting attacked.
Yeah, like a swimmer swims under somebody, he freaks out, he thinks that's going to be a shark.
And then that girl screams, then her boyfriend had picked her up. Mm-hmm. But then...
Is that the same one where those kids had the fin, or is that later?
That's later, and okay. I have something to say about that.
Little fuckhead.
But I know, I'm like...
That's what I would have said to the sheriff.
Why would you not get in more trouble? But then, I guess I need to, like, look at this. But then Alex Kittner and his mom... Okay, what do you think about his mom? Oh my God, your foot looks like it hurts.
It does hurt. Which one? Alex Kittner's mom.
She had on that one-piece bathing suit and the yellow hat. And he's the kid that got killed on the raft.
I mean, she was kind of annoying, bad acting, too.
Oh, that's not what I was going to say.
What were you going to say?
Doesn't she look old as fuck to have a kid that young?
Yes.
She looks like she's like 60.
Yeah.
And the kid's like 10.
Yeah, you think it's his grandmother. No, it's his mom.
But he...
And then the dog got killed, too.
I know.
Little puppy.
Yeah, look at...
Sweet little puppy. He's just a silly puppy. He wanted to...
Look at... I need to show you. Look at. I need to show you something real quick.
So we're at... What is that?
Look at the victim thing.
Bruce the Shark. Christy, Alex Kittner, Puppet. Pippet. That's his name.
Look.
Little Pippet.
I put a sad face next to it.
Oh my God.
Nobody else got a sad face.
Nobody else got a sad face, but Pippet did.
But the dog. Oh yeah, and that is another major plot point. Before the kid got killed, a poor little dog got killed.
And they didn't say anything about it though.
No.
It's like, he was looking for the dog, and that was it.
Yeah, you just have to assume the dog got eaten.
The dog had an honorable mention.
You see the little stick in the water, and it's like, and that dog looks like Riley.
Little Pippet got eaten. Little Pippet.
It did. It was sad. But so that happens, and actually, the scene that they were going to use for him getting attacked got cut from the movie because people thought it was too violent. They actually showed the shark in that shot. And, like, the kid getting eaten and stuff. But I don't know if they did an audience test or what, but they ended up cutting it because people thought it was too much.
And you probably watch it now and you're like, oh, my gosh.
Well, I actually kind of agree with cutting it, and not because of the violence thing, but I feel like not showing the shark up until a certain point was, like, a good thing. Because it kind of makes this whole thing like, oh, shit, you can't see it, but it's there. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You can't see it, but it's there, and I think that makes it scarier.
Well, okay, so the shark does this. People are getting scared and stuff on the beach, but there actually is attack. Is this a different time again? Was there an attack this time?
So they were on the beach 2 different times.
Okay, so he was just hypersensitive and nothing happened this time.
Yeah, that kid got eaten.
Okay,
the Alex Kittner kid on the raft.
Okay, and then
they go to the council meeting with the town.
And they're still trying to say, we're not shutting the beach down.
Yeah. So, and people are bitching about that. It's like, there's 2 people that have gotten eaten by sharks. I mean, this isn't just like a 1-person thing anymore. So, I mean, I'd be like, can you stop being so fucking Rockwall about this?
Leah is very emotionally invested in this movie.
I love this movie. I can't believe that you don't really like it. So they go to this meeting. Stop.
It's so funny how how much you're into this movie.
Did you hear that one?
No.
I don't know if, I guess it was a woman, but in the background, after they said we're going to shut down the beaches and stuff, and he was like, well, I didn't agree that it was only going to be 24 hours. Somebody in the back goes, 24 hours is like 3 weeks. And it's like, what fucking measure of time are you using?
I didn't hear that
You can't
part.
go one day without going to the beach. I think you will live.
The economy will crash.
In
if they
one
don't-
day?
Yes.
And then they end up shutting down the beaches for 24 hours because they still have to have the 4th of July. You know, can't ruin that.
At that time, that's when the fishermen start going out, right? And they start throwing chum in the water and shit.
Yes.
Okay, and that's when they pull fake shark up,
Yes. So,
which is horrible. It doesn't even look real.
okay, well, I fucking thought it was real.
Let's
I'll have to go back and look
I'll
at
show
it.
you tonight.
But I think there is one shot where it is at least one shot where it actually is a real shark. I think when they put that hook up its nose and they pull the mouth open, it looks like it's real.
Oh my! Well, please listen to me.
I am listening to you.
It is
I think
fake.
you're lying.
It is fake.
You just have to shit all over everything I like.
I just pooped all over it. Poop on it.
But yeah, so this fishermen go out and they catch a shark and they're like, this is it. This is the shark because there's no other shark like that in these waters. It's like,
Well, before that happened, though, whatever that dude comes in, the oceanographer
Hooper.
guy. Yes,
Yes.
Hooper. So Hooper comes in. Now he's
Yes.
on the beach and they see all this commotion going on about this shark. Hooper says that's not the shark.
that's not the fucking shark.
There are lots of sharks out there.
You
This
know-
is not the one.
You know,
This is a.
and my mom actually said this yesterday. The part of that scene that is like, we laugh about it every time we see it, my entire family. But when they're going, what kind of shark is that? And he goes, it's a tiger shark. And they go, oh, what? It's just like so dumb how he says that. It's like, you've never heard of that? Come on now. But I think what's so stupid to me about that whole entire scene is like, there's no sharks like that. It's like, y'all live on a fucking island. There's no sharks like that around here. What kind of world are you living in?
What kind of world are you living in?
Seriously.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention in the last scene when everybody's running out of the water, you know, because of the scares. The scare thing.
The scares.
That lady that's holding her kid screaming. It's like, you're not moving. You're standing there screaming with your kid in your arm, but you're not going to fucking move.
That wasn't that part.
Damn it.
That was the 4th of July.
Damn.
With those kids.
Okay, so they're having the council meeting, and they decide they're not going to shut the beach down again.
And that's when Quint comes in and says his whole little spiel. After
I need $10,000. You want the shark? $10,000.
what did he say? The tail. The something, the whole damn thing.
You want the tail? Yeah, so.
Whatever that was. And then he leaves with his like little minion and their dog.
Yeah, and everybody's looking at him like, damn. That was a badass moment of the movie. He's like, you want it? I'll fucking
Did you see
get
that
it.
woman? She was like
No, I didn't see that
wanting
part.
some Quint.
What was he eating? Why
Crackers.
Why are you eating at a meeting? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. It was really distracting. I kept seeing crumbs flying out of his mouth. I was like, are you doing this for like cinematic effect or are you just like hungry?
I was thinking, like, why does somebody go to a meeting and eating like whatever he's eating, crackers or?
But a lot of what he does in this movie, I wonder if it was even scripted because he was drunk almost the entire movie, like actually drunk.
Oh,
And that caused like a lot of problems, but
Man,
we'll talk about that later.
that beer's on my stomach hard.
I'm sorry.
Is it not messing your stomach up?
No, but I haven't drank like a ton of it.
Ugh. Okay.
And so anyway, they think they caught this shark. Hooper comes up, measures the mouth and everything, doesn't say anything to anybody, except what kind of shark it is. And then he pulls, and Chief Brody's like, well, hell yeah, we caught the shark. This is over, whatever. And then Hooper comes up and he's like, I hate to burst your fucking bubble, but it's not the shark.
It's not the shark.
It's not the shark. And
So the mayor comes over.
yeah, and he's like, oh yeah, we caught the shark or whatever. And then they're both like, it's not the shark.
Not the shark.
And Hooper's like, well, I want to cut it open just to make sure that this is the correct one because it could be, because it's rare for it being
Well-
in these kind of waters. It could be that one,
The Hooper
but
goes over.
I don't think it is.
Hooper goes to their house that night and they get shitty on wine.
Yes,
Right
before
there.
they cut the shark open.
Yeah. They get shitty on wine. They get drunk, so they go over there and cut the shark open. By the way, what white foam is inside of a shark? There was no blood at all when they cut
I thought that was supposed to be like ocean water.
But they cut it open. There was no blood whatsoever. It was just white foam shit, and that was it. It's very believable.
Well, I don't know. I've seen people cut fish open and they don't like bleed everywhere. I don't know.
Oh.
I have no idea. But I saw a meme the other day, so I'm part of a Jaws group on Facebook. And hey, my mom added me to that. I didn't like go looking for it. But anyway, that scene where they're in the dining room and they're drinking wine and stuff, there was a meme that somebody posted on there and it said Chief Brody, the originator of the mega pint.
Yeah, he did. That's right. He poured a big ass thing of
Yeah,
wine.
like a full fucking water glass of wine. Mm-hmm. And I was like, ooh.
That's true.
Wouldn't that make you feel
I didn't even
bad?
put that together.
Yeah, and so they go when he is just like drunk off his absolute ass to go cut that shark open.
And then like there's nothing in there. There's no human remains. Let's go find it.
Yeah.
Let's go find the fucking shark now.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that is the worst thing in the world is to take somebody with you who is like fucked up.
That boat that they took was badass though.
It was. Even for now. Yeah. That was a nice boat.
I was like, shit.
But he has a ton of money, that guy.
Hooper?
Yes, he has a lot of money. I think he comes from family money, but he's also a marine biologist.
Oh, yeah, because they made fun of his education or something.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, even now, that was like a super nice boat. I would say, that's like $120,000, $150,000 boat or more.
It was an expensive boat.
What? I'm trying.
Oh.
I don't know what you're saying.
So
he dives down there. Hooper dives down there while Chief Brody's up in the boat drunk eating.
They drive on the boat. They find a boat that's wrecked.
Yes, which is the people that went out.
A, you're hunting for a shark. You're looking for a shark. B, why the fuck are you going to dive into the waters that you're hunting for a shark?
I know. And near a boat that is crashed, obviously attacked by a shark.
So he has to go inspect the hull. And then homeboy's head comes out of the hole.
But this is the group. What's crazy to me is they don't even mention the other people. Did everybody get eaten by the shark? Because remember, that whole fleet of people went out. It wasn't just that one boat.
They came back though.
I thought they all came back.
No, that one boat apparently didn't. They all came back except for that one boat.
But then nobody mentions that boat they got eaten. I mean, you'd think they would notice.
Maybe they didn't know that he was still out there.
Who knows? So
you're the expert on Jaws. You tell me.
And so the character who he's not really a major character, but like this is like a big famous scene is that Hooper dives down there. He finds a shark tooth in the boat, pulls it out, and as soon as he pulls it out, a fucking head comes flying out from the bottom of the boat.
I was waiting. That's how I knew you were asleep because you didn't jump.
I never jump at that part, though.
I looked over at you and you were out. I was like, yep.
I was tired.
I'm tired.
You're such a butt. So they go back the next day, and Hooper doesn't have that tooth anymore because he dropped it because that scared him.
Yeah, and they're trying to tell the mayor, look, this happened. And the mayor's like, well, where's the tooth? You don't have any evidence. We can't do anything without the tooth.
But, like, why would people lie about this? That's what I'm not understanding, why he's not believing this.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, 2 people have already been attacked by a shark and killed.
Yeah.
If somebody comes back and says, hey, I found a fucking huge-ass tooth of a shark in a boat that somebody's head came out of, wouldn't you be like, oh, shit?
Oh, shit. Yeah, so no tooth, so the beaches stay open because people are coming. The next shot, it was like you would think people were coming on a Carnival cruise line, just flood the island. It showed this.
I know.
It was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
Excuse me. It's like everybody's coming at once. Suddenly.
I mean, I've never even seen a ferry that big.
I'm sure they have them, but come on. Like I'm
sure that little ass island.
I'm sure they trickle in a little bit. It's kind of funny though, because when you look around on the scenes and you look at stuff, you can see where, like in the distance, where things are blocked off and people are watching.
Oh, really?
It's so bad.
I've never seen that.
There's one part over this where the people come in the ferry and they're all flooding the beach, right? Mm-hmm. The mayor goes up to one guy's like, "Hey, you're not in the water. Like, get in the water because nobody's gonna swim if you don't." They go out into the water, and they take all this precaution to kind of be shark watchers. And this helicopter is flying up and down the beach, right? It takes you to a shot inside the helicopter where you can see the beach, and in the distance to the left, you can see all the 18-wheelers of the production crew.
Are you serious?
I was like,
I've never noticed that.
Really? Next time you watch it, look at the view from the helicopter. And on the left-hand side, you'll see all these 18-wheelers parked right next to each other. Like, they're stacked.
Oh, my gosh. No, I've never noticed that.
It was so bad.
But that part when people are coming to the island and stuff, you know that part when they're all on the dock, like, walking back and forth? Mm-hmm. There is, and I don't know that this is true, but there is a theory.
Serial killer.
There's a theory that some woman that went missing up in that area, like that actual area somewhere near Martha's Vineyard, they think that she was in the shot. Like, she was an extra in the movie. What?
You have so many conspiracy theories that you believe.
It's not a conspiracy theory.
You believe it, too, don't you?
Yes.
I know.
Why would you not? So, anyway.
So they have beach patrol, helicopters, and everything going up and down the beach, right?
Yes.
Mayor gets these people into the water, and now the waters are crowded.
Yes.
And this is where fuckface kids have their little shark fins and their thing floating around trying to scare people.
Yes, but you obviously think it's real. One of those kids is now, I read this today, he is now the chief of police of Martha's Vineyard.
No way.
Yes, isn't that cool?
It's almost a conspiracy theory, too.
It's not a conspiracy theory, it's true. It is true.
I believe you. But now he's the chief of police out there?
Of Martha's Vineyard.
Oh.
Where this movie was shot.
Wow. So this is the scene where people are swimming. The kids have that little thing. They get in trouble, right? Well, kind of. They pull them out of the water. And then another scare. People, they see the fins. They run out of the water. Lady holding the kids screaming. She's not moving.
So that was...
Is this the right scene now?
Yes, that was the kids scare.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And like those old people that took their kids into the water and they're on the raft. My favorite part, you always say, where the kids are going on the thing. I'm like, why don't you get off the raft? Why are you sitting there like...
There is a shark coming and nobody's going to be sitting on the raft and standing in the water crying.
No, they're going... I'm like, what are you doing? Stop. Just stop. I mean, I know that you're like 8 years old, but surely you have enough sense that if there is something about to kill you in the water, you're going to get off the raft.
Yeah.
It just drives me nuts. Well, then, while that's happening, that was like this whole huge distraction. What's actually happening is the Chiefs.
The real shit's happening in the inlet. Whatever.
Are they like? What are they? Are they like Boy Scouts? I don't understand what that whole thing is.
I don't know. They're doing something. Yeah.
Yeah. So his oldest kid, and it was like 2 or 3 of his friends were in a boat, and the guy who gets attacked and killed, he's called the estuary boater. I guess he didn't really have a name. But that's what his character is cast as. But
he gets thrown out of his boat.
He gets knocked out of his boat by Jaws. And
some chick on the beach goes, "There's a shark."
Yeah, she saw the shark going in there, so he starts running over there.
She said it's going into the pond or something like that, right?
Yeah. And there's a lot of places like that in Hawaii. Where like it won't be like out in the ocean, but it'll be like an ocean-fed pond, and they have bull sharks and stuff that get in those. So the shark knocks this guy's boat over, and then I guess the kids, like, I don't know, did they get scared and fall out of their boat? I don't understand why they
got knocked out of the boat too.
Oh, I thought they just like fell out.
I think the boat got knocked over.
But I thought this guy had a pretty bad death. I mean, it's pretty gruesome.
Yeah, his leg fell to the bottom.
And I think
which looked totally real, by the way.
That's the first time you actually like see the shark, though, is from underneath the water. I thought that was, even if it didn't look realistic, I thought that was a good shot. When you see the side of it coming up to eat the guy, I thought that was good.
Yeah.
You didn't.
You can just see the, I don't know.
I mean, it is what it is. I think it was good effects for back then.
For back then, yeah. But like when you see like the mouth open and you see like the skin on the side bounce.
I didn't see that. When?
Every time the damn shark opens his mouth.
Oh, I thought you meant like one particular.
It totally like the robotic move. It's like going to see Chuck E. Cheese when you're little. How believable that looked. That's what Jaws kind of reminded me of.
Oh my gosh.
The Chuck E. Cheese Jaws.
But his kid it like goes into shock. He has to go to the hospital, and I guess one of his friends is that mayor's kid. I don't know, or the mayor's kid was on the beach or something, because he ends up showing up at the hospital, and then Chief Brody's like, "You need to sign this shit so I can go hire Quint and we can get
You
this
just
done."
sign this shit. They ain't signing it.
I think he does end up signing it.
Well, I think he has to at this point, right?
Yeah, and he was like, "My kids are on that beach too." Again, like Alex Kittner's mom. How old are you people when you're having kids?
Is that when she came to him? Oh, listen, that sounds different, doesn't it?
Okay.
Okay.
So when they and I can't believe we skipped over that part. When they initially thought that they caught the shark, the fake looking shark.
She comes
up and slaps him.
And she's wearing her funeral attire.
And what's funny is every time we talk about this in my family, we can never figure out, is that her husband that's with her or her dad? Because he looks like as old as she does.
They both look old.
And this kid is like 10 or 11 years old when he dies.
I think it's supposed to be her husband.
But it's funny. I mean, it's not funny. It's sad, like what happened to her kid. But it's funny that she just like comes up and slaps him in the middle of everybody, because it's like, I feel like there was a better way you could have handled that. You know, go to his office. Don't make a scene.
She made a scene and then she said, "My son was out there, and you knew it was that creature was out there."
That creature,
or that shark, or whatever it was. She did the right thing.
She did the right thing to come up and slap him.
Yes.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the mayor signs the sheet. They hire Quint. Hooper's not fucking thrilled because him and Quint don't like each other. In real life, Richard Dreyfuss and Robert Shaw actually did not get along at all. So that contributed to the tension in the movie.
Aren't all of these... Okay, so Richard Dreyfuss and who didn't get along? The boat guy?
Robert Shaw, Quint.
Oh, okay. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, in real life, they didn't get along. And so that, everybody said, contributed to that being such a good dynamic on screen, is because they weren't supposed to get along anyway.
Didn't you say that all the lead characters of this film are dead now except for Dreyfuss?
I don't know about Chief Brody's wife, but yeah, Chief Brody's not alive anymore, and neither is Quint. Quint died, I don't think, too long after he made Jaws. I think he actually died from alcohol. I think he died from, like, consumption.
Oh,
or whatever.
I mean, ironic.
But anyway, and so they hire Quint. They go to meet up with him and talk to him about like their journey that they're going to do. He doesn't like the fact that he's not going to go by himself, but he ends up giving into it. And they start to pack up the boat like the next day or the next few days after that. Mm-hmm. And Chief Brody's wife is all upset because she thinks he's going to die, because she's like, "Oh my God, he's such a puss.
Oh, no.
He's not coming back."
I don't want him to go.
And so they go on their way, and nothing really happens for a while. They just keep like Huh?
No, I didn't say anything. I said
Oh, why are you holding it like that?
I just it sounds different. I'm easily distracted.
So I can't remember what happens first. So like I think they're like trying to chum the water.
They go out, chum the water, and then Hooper. No, not Hooper. Who's the other guy?
Chief Brody.
No, who's the boat guy?
Quint. Yes.
Starts fishing.
Yes.
From his fishing pole that has piano wire. Right.
It's piano wire?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he got piano wire as the string for his pole.
And so I thought the chumming thing happened first, when he came up out of the water and scared him. You know what I'm talking about?
I thought that happened after he caught it, because they broke the line. Maybe the chumming thing did happen first.
I thought the chumming...
I mean, I seriously watched this damn thing last night. I can't remember.
I thought... So when... this happens with me in a lot of movies. When there's just like one setting, it's confusing to me, like what happens.
They were chumming the water. Order. The shark did do that, and that's when he backed up, and that's when Quint went and got his fishing pole.
Okay. And then after that, doesn't he get his gun? Because the fishing pole like breaks or something, right?
He snaps the fishing pole line. The wire.
So he goes and gets his gun, because I think that they see the shark.
At this point, yeah, they can see the shark, because they try to swim under the boat, all that shit. And
he starts shooting those barrels at him.
Yeah, the Quint went to get some kind of a hook or something, and when he went to get the hook, the line broke, and that's when they could start seeing visuals of the shark.
And I think that's when he sees like the entirety of the shark in the water, and he's like, and Hooper
That's
goes,
a 9 foot or something.
Hooper's
like
like, I think
That's a
he's
6 foot
20 foot, and Quint goes 25.
25.
But then Chief Brody delivers his whole line after he sees how big the shark is when he comes out of the water, because when that happened, he was the only one that saw him. And because he like immediately went back down, and that's when he improvised the line, we're going to need a bigger boat, because that wasn't in the script.
That's the only time to me in the movie that it looked like an actual shark, when you couldn't see the whole thing, but you could kind of see it underwater.
See,
from the top, that looked somewhat real. Aside from that, everything else looked...
I felt like that during the scene when that guy in the estuary gets eaten, because he's not above water. You just see him underneath the water.
Yeah.
And you see him about to eat the guy. Well, anyway. So everything kind of intensifies, and Hooper and Quint just continually don't get along. And then it comes because they keep shooting those barrels at him, because they're trying to keep him from being able to go all the way underneath the water.
Yeah, they just start off with 1 barrel and then 2 barrels, because it's so big, he's taking them down.
And I think it's like, 3 or 4 that they end up shooting
3?
at him?
I think it was 3 total.
And he pulls them all down.
Yeah, and he's like, that's a big fish for whatever, or something like that, or whatever.
And so then it cuts to...
Dude, this is why I don't drink beer anymore.
What?
I'm so bloated right now.
See, I didn't drink that much. I don't feel like that. That's the thing about dark beer, though.
Yeah, I mean...
It's all beer, but dark beer is really bad about that.
It's good, but, man, I need to drink a lot of water now.
Then it cuts to the scene at night where they're inside the boat.
Oh, yeah, they're all fucked up.
And they're talking about all these scars that they've gotten from different things. And that's when Quint delivers his whole story about the USS Indianapolis and how he was on it. Because you know that ship that got... You don't know what that is.
Nope.
We have watched shit about this before. It's that...
Oh, yeah.
It's that...
Yeah.
Still don't know.
No, I do know.
Yeah, that vessel that got torpedoed, and they were on that mission to deliver the atom bomb.
Yeah, and they got eaten. A lot of them got eaten by sharks.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was saying that he was on that, and he was one of the survivors, but he got... That whole entire story was wrong. The story that he told, like, I guess they had given him, like, the correct facts and stuff, and he got it all wrong, but he was fucked up. He was actually drunk in that whole entire scene. But he had fucked it up so bad that they were going to reshoot it, but they were like, but he delivered it so well, we'll just keep it. So, like, that entire story is, like, not even true, like, the numbers and stuff.
It made it believable, the fact that he's just drunk and just didn't,
I think... To me, his delivery of that story is like one of the best scenes in film. I think it is.
I don't know about that.
I think it is. I think that was really well acted scene. And so Shark comes back in the middle of that song, and I can sing the entire song because I've seen this movie so many times.
Do it. Sing it.
I'm not doing it. I can't sing. And so the shark comes back and he starts like ramming the boat. They end up noticing. They go outside and then nothing really happens. Like they don't do anything. They just like stand out there in the dark, and then it just cuts to the next day. And I forgot what I was going to say.
It was the next day after the shark at nighttime, right?
No, but I forgot what I was going to say.
We have derailed.
We have deeper.
So
I can't tell stories after I've been drinking.
The next day, you haven't had that much.
I know.
So
12%.
Scuba gear. I'm looking at notes here.
I think that's when they decide to do the cage diving.
I don't remember that part.
Yeah, Hooper gets in the cage and he's gonna like stab the shark with that thing.
Oh yeah. And it demolishes the cage.
I never understood what that was.
A cage?
No. What he was gonna stab him with.
I thought it was like a spear.
Yeah, but it had stuff in it. I don't know what it was.
I don't remember that part. Maybe I was falling asleep and didn't realize it.
But he's gonna stab him, but I don't think it's to kill him. I think it's like
to sedate it.
Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. But he gets in the cage. the shark attacks the cage. The underwater scenes of the shark that are an actual shark, I think they were Australian. A couple who was prominent scuba divers and dove with sharks and stuff, they filmed all those scenes.
And it didn't even look really like the scene that they were at, right? It's like
No.
It was kind of funny. Like, it doesn't even look like it belongs to the movie.
I mean, it is what it is. And if you watch
1975.
if you watch the other Jaws movies, I'm pretty sure in all of them, the ending scene where the shark gets blown up and it's like floating down in the water is used at the end of every single Jaws movie.
Is it?
Yes.
So how'd they end up killing this damn thing?
They
blew him up, right?
Yes. So Hooper goes down in the cage. He gets attacked in the cage. You see that he gets away, but
yeah, he swims off.
Quint and Chief Brody think he died, like he got eaten. And so Quint, I don't know really what his whole goal was at this point, but the boat starts sinking and the shark ends up getting up on the boat and eats Quint.
That's the part that looks so believable.
I know, it's like the worst thing ever, but it's good. You know what grosses me out about that part is when like he has him in his mouth and then like the final like crunch is so gross. That's what it sounds like. It just sounds like he like broke his back or something. Oh, it's gross. And so Quint gets eaten, he gets dragged into the water, and all that's left is Chief Brody. And Chief Brody has the idea to throw, I guess, an oxygen tank.
Yeah.
An oxygen tank into the shark's mouth. And he climbs up the little, whatever pole.
The ladder?
Yeah, but what are those poles called up above boats? Like an
antenna?
No, it's not an antenna.
The light pole?
No, it's what boats have so you can get up and see what's going on like around you.
Like the ballast?
I don't fucking know. Maybe.
I know what you're talking about. The observation deck?
Observation pole. Whatever. So he climbs up that, has a gun, is hoping for the best because otherwise he's going to get eaten. And he ends up shooting the shark in the mouth, killing him.
Yeah.
With his smile, you son of a bitch.
Yep.
Line, son of a bitch. Line.
Shoots the tank. Bang!
God damn, that scared me. And he blows up. He blows up the shark. The shark dies. And then while he's sitting in the water, and this is what's funny to me about all shark movies. Stop. After they kill a shark, like the last shark, they act like there's not any more sharks in the ocean. Have you ever noticed that?
It's the end. I killed it. It's the end. No
That's
more.
what they always act like, though. Like there's nothing else in the ocean that can kill them.
No more.
And so he's just like chilling in the water, and Hooper comes swimming over and is like, I'm back.
I didn't die.
Surprise, I didn't die.
I'm still drunk, and now here I am.
He asked about Quint, and Chief Brody's like, no, he didn't make it. And they start swimming back to shore. They swim back extremely fucking fast because they were like in the middle of the ocean.
Didn't they make like they had 2 barrels on each side and they swim?
Yeah, like a little raft.
I thought that was, not Quint, but the other guy.
Hooper and Chief Brody.
Oh, so Hooper didn't die. Quint did.
Quint died.
Okay.
And
surprise, motherfucker!
And so they're swimming back, and Chief Brody says, because his whole thing was like he was so scared of the water, he never got in the water or anything. And he said something like, I can't believe I used to be afraid of the water. And Hooper goes, I can't imagine why. And then that's it. That was the last line of the movie. I thought that was a cute. Stop. I thought that was a cute little last exchange.
So you had someone here called the death count. What was the death count?
7.
Who died?
Okay, so the first person that died was Chrissy. She was the naked one at the beginning that got eaten. And then Alex Kittner, the kid.
Chrissy, the flopper.
The flopper. Alex Kittner, the kid that was on the raft with the old ass mom. Ben Gardner, he was the fisherman guy whose head popped out of the boat that Hooper found. And then Pippet.
Which looked a lot like Cousin It.
What?
Who in the Munsters? Who's the dude that screwed the light bulb?
The Munsters?
Listen to me.
The Addams Family?
That's what I'm talking about.
Fester?
Fester. He looked like
Uncle
Fester.
He kind of did. And then Pippet the dog. How sad.
Oh, Pippet.
That's why I put a frowny face next to his. And then the estuary boater guy, I don't think you ever knew his name. Quint, and then the shark, Bruce.
the shark's name was Bruce?
They named it Bruce on the set. Like in the movie, he doesn't have a name.
Oh. So what's up with this little...
Okay. So, yeah, these are things that I found out while I was doing all this. The release of Jaws represented another significant change in standard practice, which was opening a movie in hundreds of theaters at the same time. This trend was actually set in motion before Jaws in the early 1970s with the release of Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather. Prior to The Godfather, high-profile movies would typically play for 3 months or so in only one location before slowly moving into other major cities, and then finally to second and third run theaters in small towns across the country. I didn't know that, did you?
I did not know that. No.
I thought they were always just released in all theaters.
That's
at
interesting.
The same time.
I don't remember how that worked back then. I mean, obviously you have it written down, but...
Yes. Okay, and then another one was several decades after the film's release, Lee Fierro, who played Mrs. Kittner. Oh, I thought this was cute. Who played Mrs. Kittner, the old woman with the kid. She walked into a seafood restaurant and noticed that the menu had an Alex Kittner sandwich. She commented that she had played his mother so many years ago. The owner of the restaurant ran out to meet her, and he was none other than Jeffrey Voorhees, who played her son.
Oh, that's weird.
And they hadn't seen each other since the original movie shoot.
That's creepy.
Isn't that strange?
That's creepy.
That's weird. And then, though respected as an actor, Robert Shaw Quint, his trouble with alcohol was a frequent source of tension during filming. In later interviews, Roy Schneider, who was Chief Brody, described his co-star as a perfect gentleman whenever he was sober. All he needed was one drink, and then he turned into a competitive son of a bitch. According to Carl Gottlieb, who was one of the screenwriters of this movie, the book that he had written, The Jaws Log, Shaw was having a drink between takes, at which one point he announced, "I wish I could quit drinking," much to the surprise and horror of the crew. Richard Dreyfuss simply grabbed Shaw's glass and tossed it into the ocean. Richard Dreyfuss is Matt Hooper. When it came time to shoot the infamous USS Indianapolis scene, Shaw attempted to do the monologue, while intoxicated, as it called for the men to be drinking late at night. Nothing in the take could be used. A remorseful Shaw called Steven Spielberg late that night and asked if he could have another try. The next day of shooting, Shaw's electrifying performance was done in one take, but I think he still got everything wrong.
Damn.
So,
I did not know that.
Yeah, I've known that last one for a while, but I just learned that second one about Mrs. Kittner and her kid in the movie.
Yeah.
I just learned that not too long ago. I was like, God, that's so weird. Like, what are the chances of something like that happening? That's so strange.
That is strange.
But anyway, that was Jaws.
That was long. That was Jaws. With the Epic's Big Bad Baptist Double Barrel. 12.2%. Yeah, go ahead.
If you have any suggestions on any kind of liquor, wine, beer, cocktail, or just a subject that we can talk about, true crime, horror, or anything just generally bloody that we could watch.
And it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be true crime. It can just be anything bloody. It's just something.
Or any crime, I guess.
War crime.
But you could war crimes.
Yeah.
But you could send all those suggestions to us at boozeandbloodshed@gmail.com. You can also like or follow us on Facebook or Instagram at Booze and Bloodshed. And we have Spotify, Pandora, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff, and YouTube.
Yeah,
we have a YouTube channel.
If you just Google Booze and Bloodshed, you'll find it everywhere.
Yes.
So that's the episode of Jaws, and I don't know what else to say.
I'm Leah.
I'm Brandon. We'll talk to you later.
Peace.